Welcome to all you Geminis. This is your monthly horoscope for January of 2022. There's a whole bunch of video, a whole bunch of videos out there, and that I've uploaded that has to do with something more in depth, considering the Venus retrograde, Venus Pluto conjunction, the yearly horoscopes. But this one is just for January. Very short, precise, concise video. And your ruler Mercury is going retrograde again for a change. You're used to that, dear Geminis, and now it's going on in a fellow air sign of Aquarius. This is your 9th house, the house of travel, the house of and this is happening on the 15th, by the way, at 10 degrees of Aquarius. So you could be traveling back to a country that you already visited. When you do so, there could be some restrictions, or I mean, it could be some delays as well. But hey, this is not the end of the world, and Geminis are so flexible. They take that good book that you have, or some nice music, or some nice iPodcast or whatnot, and you will do fine. I mean, this is not the end of the world. But Mercury goes direct again around the 5th of February. So everything that has to do with study as well, it's when you study, this is a good time to reassess your courses, your the things that you have learned, and for contracts and so on. When Mercury goes direct again after the 5th of February, it is a better energy. But you all know that, dear Geminis. It also goes back into your 8th house at the very end of the month of January. So around the 27th of the month, it's not in Aquarius anymore, it's in Capricorn, which is a bit more of a tricky house. Tricky in that respect, it's very hidden, and you are rethinking deep stuff. You know, the 8th house is a financial house, so the money that you get from other people or you share with other people, taxes, inheritances. So there could be a rethinking of that, or stuff coming up again, because Venus is still retrograde there in that house as well. So a lot about, for some of you, it's going to be finances, right? But for others, it's deep stuff, deep psychological stuff that has to do with intimacy, that has to do with vulnerability. So vulnerabilities can come up there, but they're necessary to break through. And with your ruler there and Venus, it's yes, especially not only the end of January, but also next month at the end of February, that could be a windfall there for you when it comes to money of other people, money that you share, investments, and so on. But now it's more still the thinking, the reassessing, and that's fine. Meanwhile, when it comes to your work, Jupiter entered the 10th house, the highest point of your horoscope, and this is going to be good for the next couple of months. Jupiter is expansion, it's in its own sign. So if you want to expand when it comes to your work, you want to travel more, you want to share your knowledge and learn, and or being the teacher, this is amazing energy. Travel as well, it may sound weird, but traveling can be also very interesting, or expanding one's business, for instance, over the boundaries, you know, all that kind of stuff can be very interesting to you. Now the nodes are shifting. You had your time with the North Node. I've been talking about it so long in your 1st house, and I've seen so many Geminis really growing so fast and so well. And with the last 18 months, approximately in your sign. So that was amazing to expand, because that's what was necessary with the North Node there in your sign. And now you're going to have a shift of the nodes at the end of January. It is, to be a bit more precise here, that shift happens around the 19th of the month of January, that the North Node will shift into Taurus, which is your 12th house. So this is a way of, the North Node is where you put your focus on. So you focus more on 12th house stuff, which is spirituality, digging into the unconscious, to not to escape, not to spiritual bypass, or how do they say that in such a beautiful term? No, but it is to relax. Learn how to relax. Learn how to get in touch with that unconscious, with the unconscious, in order for you to be more in line with the divine. So that's a beautiful thing. And to getting a bit more away from that very restrictive structure, you could say, with the South Node in Scorpio in your 6th house. It's more about getting away from jobs that are no longer suiting you, but it's going to be transformational. Getting away from bad habits. It's good actually to get away from a bad habit that has to do with your health, with the South Node in the 6th house. But pointing more towards the things that are not tangible, the things that are, without, of course, getting too much in la la land, but to feel that you're a part of the whole, and that can have a very nurturing element into it. So this is a bit how this month is for you, dear Geminis. It's a bit less, and for the rest of the year, I'm going to talk about this North Node, by the way. This is just the beginning, but it's less about feeling that fire in you to launch something new. Or, of course, there will always, for some Geminis, be some fire there because there are stuff going on in your personal horoscope. But as a whole, it's a bit more now towards reloading the batteries, towards finding balance, basically, between the material world and the not material world. Having said these wise words, thank you so much for watching. All the best to you, dear Geminis. Have a very, very good January. Bye-bye.